Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Viva Niger Radio. I am your host, Bimbo, and welcome to the Aproko Hour this Friday evening. I hope you've had a really good week. It's been one of those weeks where there has just been so many stories, like people just acting naughty up and down. So we are going to get together today and put the world to rights. Thank you so much for joining. Now, please, as usual, remember that when we are, you can join us and call in anytime. We'd like to hear from you. And if you want to dial in, you just need to, from the UK, you need to dial in on the number 0330. Oh, wow, I've just lost the number now. Okay, yes. So the number is 0330. Wow. Okay. I keep losing this number. What's happening? Right. Okay. So good. Apologize. If you're dialing in from the UK, the number is 0330 998 1261. Again, it's 0330 998 1261. And if you're dialing in from the US, you want to dial 1712-770-4032. And from Nigeria, it's 1440-5024. And in each instance, you will need an access code, which is 264812, followed by hash. That code for you again is 264812, followed by hash. And thank you so much for joining us this evening. Now, before we actually have the rest of the panelists join the show, I am going to try and play you guys a little bit of music, to get everyone in that Friday party mood, and obviously to make sure that by the time we come to start gisting, we can focus on just talking about the stories. Now, what are you guys in the mood for? I think I'm kind of in the mood for something a little bit upbeat. Yeah, probably not. Anyway, again, thank you so much for joining us. This is one of those Fridays, this is one of those weeks that has been, it's just been crazy. There's been loads of people just messing about on social media. There was one particular story that I was very interested in, and I'm hoping that when everyone else joins us, they'll be able to add their 2 cents to this. But it was there's a text, there's a snapshot of text that's been going around everywhere. It was of a guy who he was on leave from work, and he was contacted by one of the people that works for him, a female somebody that works for him. And you could tell from the onset of the message that he wasn't really interested in listening to what the girl had to say. And the minute she started talking about, the minute she said, hello, sir, he's thinking, okay, who are you? And she said, it's also a person from the office. And he's like, okay, yeah, and said, we missed you in the office today. And he said, well, I'm on leave. And she was like, yes, I was told you were on leave. So he asked, is there a problem? Like, go to this person with any issues you might have at work. It's like, oh, there's no problem at all. It's just checking in on you. I missed you. The office isn't the same without you. And dude is like, okay, do you know who else misses me too? My wife and kids. And she laughs, going, oh, and he's like, yeah, she said, oh, you're funny. And he goes, yeah, do you know who else thinks I'm funny? Like, who else? My wife. She thinks I'm funny. And she's like, oh, and she's like, yeah, I saw your wife the other day when she came into the office. Looks like she's put on some weight. Oh, that is where things changed. Oh boy, in fact, I don't even know where to begin. It was one of those stories where it happened, it was quite surreal what happened. Um, and the guy was like, right, you know what? I want you to do me a favor. And she's like, oh yeah, what? Like, I want you to put in for a transfer, and I want you to, after you've put in for a transfer, then now to different departments, and then I want you to put in a transfer to a different state. And she's like, I do that, sir. I don't understand. Well, I'm serious because you will tell me what your business is with my wife's body. And she's like, well, I'm just making an observation. Like, is it your weight? Did you hear him complain? And he's like, look, I want you to make sure you send that email today, and that you get you CC me in that email so I can approve it and say, I have approved for you to move to a different department. That I don't want you in the office when I get back. I want you in a different department. And she's like, well, that's too harsh. Or that is that it's unfair. I said, she said, wow, that's unfair. And that's what have I even done? I it's not good to be making threats like this. And the guy was like, yes, it's not fair. And then she's doing smiley faces, and he's like, yes, it is unfair for you to be discussing. It's unfair to my wife for someone like you to be working under me. So it's only fair that I give you. In fact, you know what? Here's the thing. I don't even want you to transfer to just a different department anymore. I want you to put in your resignation. I want you to go to a different department, and when you get to that department, I want you to give in your resignation. And they're like, no, blah blah blah. Sir, please, oh please. It's like, I'm not joking. That unless you want me to fire you, in which case you won't get any recommendations or anything like that. And this story has been going round and round and round and round. So it's been one of those ones where people, the consensus is split. There's some people that are screaming, "Oh well, it's too harsh. The guy is just saying he's abusing his authority as the boss. He's blah 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 blah." And some people were like, "See, oh, this is a good man, no, this is the kind of man that he wants. That will just sort of shut down all those girls that be trying to chase and everything. That what is at home with blah 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 with the guy's wife." And then there's some people that are going, well, you know what? Eh, this one guy does not absolve all the other guys that have cheated and what the other men do and everything like that. And I can understand everything that they're discussing, everything that they're saying. I get some parts of it, except for the ones that are saying that he is being too harsh. He's exerting his authority. I think that is absolutely fine. I think that, okay, maybe he should have stopped that. I want you to transfer to a different department. And then I want you to, never discuss my personal life again. We are joined by one other person. Hello, Rachel. We are joined by Rachel, um the authority for hiring and firing, shall we say. Hi, Rachel. I am good, thank you. So I was just reading out the story about the guy who one of his subordinates was trying to chat him up and talking and mention about his wife's weight. Yeah. Oh, I tell you, right? I tell you. And I was just sort of going through. Every time I read it, I just kind of keep going. From the minute he answered, you could tell he's like, okay, who are you? And she says who she is, and he's like, uh-huh, I'm on leave. And she's like, yes, I was told you were on leave. She even knew he was on leave. And she's like, and he's like, and he specifically said, "Is there a problem? Can you go to so person for any issues?" And girl is still going. Oh, I miss you. Blah blah. I just miss you at work. And that one from then on, I thought, okay, you know what, this girl doesn't have. She's a busybody, and it's like, you must have free time. Oh no, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, that. And even with him mentioning, do you know who finds me, who misses me to my wife and daughters? She laughed. You know who thinks I'm funny? And my wife and daughters. All of that was not a hint. He was the one bringing up his family. Like, look, kid, whatever personal stuff you're trying to do right now, I don't open myself up for it. And she even went ahead and be saying, well, and then she now had the audacity to mention his wife, saying, she came to the office recently. Seems she has gained weight. At that point, I'm kind of thinking, what did she think she was going to get from that? Mm. It's because of the first interaction. If you take a breakdown, you would have known that this man was not, I thought he wasn't just interested in you. Or he was not with his wife. So she just pulled it back. Oh, I have an issue to discuss with you, but I'll go reach out to someone else. Yeah. Or even just that when you even when you just gotten to that, you just missed him in the office, things like, oh, I missed you in the office and I was just checking, you were okay, they said you were on leave, anyway, I hope you're okay, bye bye. Try and graceful an exit as you can take, and promote yourself from the whole thing. Dude was the one bringing up, you know who is, yeah. The story doesn't even bother me as much as when you now go on Facebook, the reactions of the children of Nigeria. I know. Social media Nigeria. Oh God. Yeah. Some might say he was too harsh, he was too so like, and you people that now be saying, come and see that man. This guy, I told him, is the receptionist. She's always rude when I get there, or she's always wearing short dress. So, and he won't do anything. And they're saying, he's exerting his authority. He knows the kind of girl she is. And if that girl had been the one to come out and say he was harassing her, with the way that Nigerian social media is right now, everybody would be saying that he loses job, God knows what not. Exactly. Nigerians seem to have this sense understanding of labor laws or whatever it is, because they always seem to perceive that abroad nothing happens. They fail to understand that there is no guarantee of work or termination. You can be terminated at will. Exactly. Unless you are working in a closed shop, you are unionized. Exactly. If the man exactly. Tomorrow morning, I don't like the way you look, I'm terminating you. So long as he can find something, and you know what, he has something to fire her with. That statement he made about his wife, that is her causing, for as far as he's concerned, this was a woman who insulted my family. I do not want her to, I don't feel comfortable working with her. Even if that text was happening here, or in the UK or in America, and he showed them what she said, you'd be like, okay, HR will get involved. They'll be like, okay, you can't be saying this about people's personal life. He told you he was on leave. What was that called for? Exactly, you are invading his personal space, his personal time, and then you are insulting his family. That's how it goes. That next minute you just see, all done. You're fired, or they give you termination, or they move you to a different department and tell you never to contact that person again, ever. He didn't even know who she was. He didn't have her number. It does bother me when Nigerians bring up, there's this thing like it's been a crime. Who coined that thing? What crimes? I hate it. Insana crimes. They say insana crimes. What the heck do you mean? What does that mean? Insana crimes. How is that even English? That's what you find in Facebook. They'll tell you insana crimes. This doesn't happen. If you were my employee, and I saw that text message, Mm.
You have almost 30 seconds to clean up your desk.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I just tell you, look, I want
Because
you
you're
to
putting
leave.
me at risk. I'm going to be liable for the harassment that
Hmm.
you're providing. And potentially some hostile
A
motive.
hostile,
No, I'm not
exactly,
doing that.
exactly. It just be like tell you, I want you out. I want you to leave. I do not feel comfortable with you. Simple as that. And be happy that I even want you to be the one to leave so that you can find
That
work
is
somewhere
very
else.
nice
Because I
intent.
can just fire
Like,
you
talk
like
to
that.
another person's too. You're thinking, okay, since I'm trying to do good, then you say it's too harsh. The man says, okay, just forget that side, resign.
And it's like it's unfair. What have I said? And she was even smiling when the man was like, "Ah, yeah, okay, that is, you know what, you're right. That is unfair." She was saying, or she was even smiling, you know, not knowing that the guy was saying, you know what, it's true, that is unfair to my wife. We will still be in the same company. In fact, I want you to leave.
Also think about it from a business perspective. What if this was a customer?
Exactly.
She would have no respect of boundaries. If she, because just because she has access to make a customer financial history, she would look at it and be like, I like this one. And she
Um,
will do the same thing
she will do the same thing.
with the
Exactly.
customer.
Exactly. Exactly, and that's the problem. Is that she has exhibited herself as someone that has zero boundaries, and they cannot trust her with
Zero
customer
boundaries.
and with co-workers' details, because she's the one that contacted him. Dude has told you where to go if you have an issue with work. He has told you that he's on leave. He has obviously said that, look, Omo, in the way in the statements that he was making, he has made it obvious that he's only concerned about his wife and family, bringing up his family and saying, look, yeah, these people miss me too. That in itself is like a shutdown. That minute that happens, if it was me that was trying to be acting, the minute that happens, that's it. I'll be like, oh, okay, oh, that's so great. That's good. Well, I hope you have. I was just, as I didn't see you, I hope you have a lovely leave, and then we'll see you when you get back. Thank you. I'll go meet so person to deal with the issue. Chick did not even take the hint right up until it seems she has had dead weight. Huh?
That was when she killed the job.
Yeah, because he was slowly warning you, be careful, saying, oh, you're funny. It's like, do you guess who else thinks I'm funny? My wife and daughters. Clearly, you have a lot of free time. At that point, she didn't even get the hint. This is something that is your
That's
boss.
hard. When your boss tells you that it looks like you have a lot of free
Is
time,
at that point you're like,
just yourself.
what's you? Exactly, you adjust yourself, get to looking busy, or get busy, or look busy, or whatever else you need to be doing. You just
That
you,
was the best thing. You was having some kind of trouble. I forgot to your and go to the other guy.
Mhm. Simple, simple. All of that hint she did not take. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Was just worrying about, she trying to get there. Of course, our guy is probably very well to do. Maybe a fine looking boy that does not look her side. She was the one that was looking for something. People will now be saying, sometimes when you see those people that be like, it's their own husband they face. That kind of woman now, the guy's wife, if I'm sure that if there's been an issue, he's the one that she has spoken to and said, look, blah 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 blah. And it might be something that seemed that innocent too. Because men, they can be quite slow sometimes and not realize that this is where it's going when some of these women are doing these things. So I'm sure she's spoken to him. It maybe something similar had happened. He'd almost entered Kini or Yawa, or his wife was highlighting saying that, look, this is how it happens. So and so kind of people. If you know you don't want any wahala, be direct with them. Cut it off from the get go. So she has probably spoken to him, explain to him how these things happen, how some women work where they just want their way in. Before you know it, you're so deep into it that you don't realize, or you're compromised and you're having to then start lying and whatnot. So she's probably spoken to him.
Absolutely.
Dude knew how to
I think I
handle it.
ever had that conversation with my husband. But he said he couldn't.
Yeah, most of them can be quite.
Absolutely for clearness for the life of him. And I was like, yeah. You don't find yourself in a place you don't want to be, then you be telling me so and flag your head. You need to be very aware.
Exactly. Exactly. You just need to be on. You need to be sensible about it. You need to make sure that you're not putting yourself in a position where you're entering trouble.
This is stupid.
She was stupid, and you come and see some of the comments that people are making. People like, well, should this one good guy then absolve all the other men, blah blah blah, and everything like that, or is it that this one guy
Because you must be ugly. Some things you
exactly,
must be
or
ugly.
they're like,
That's why
well,
you accept your.
yeah, or they're like, well, he's trying to cover up. He probably wanted his wife to. He probably purposely did that chat because he wanted his wife to see that he wasn't cheating. He's probably doing something somewhere else. And it's like, good God, the comments that people were making. Well, he's cheating with somebody somewhere else. It's just a man's character to cheat. And I'm thinking, oh my God, another one of these people. Ugh, why do they still exist? I wish I could take all these retarded
From
people.
that says to the nation of privacy, invasion of privacy. I take a screenshot and I'm like, seriously.
Are you kidding me? She came onto my phone to say nonsense. The minute that she had put pen to paper or put hand to text and sent something to my phone, it wasn't a nude picture. At that point, there's no invasion of privacy. Whatever you sent me, if we did not agree beforehand that it was going to be private, then there's no invasion
I'm
of
deciding
privacy.
that Nigerians are just as confused as Americans. That word called the right, do something in their brain. But
Mm,
the one that is saying nobody has the right to ask her for sex. So the one that is saying nobody should have the right to Nigerians are crazy.
mm. Also, this is another thing that kind of annoys me is like, okay, people will be talking about how they were talking about how you're invading my privacy or you're doing something like that, but they don't actually understand what privacy means. All these people that be like, I sent a picture to I sent a nude picture to my boyfriend or something, or there was nude pictures of my phone and everything like that. It's the distribution of it, to be honest. And if the picture was on her phone, it's a different matter. Then it's an invasion of privacy. But the minute you send that out to someone else, if they don't break any kind of other sexual laws like like publishing pornographic images without consent and things like that, then it's not invasion of privacy. There's a huge difference. There's a difference to what that actually is.
Yeah.
Man, some people are just crazy. Anyway, on a different note, there was a post last week, I think, and the conclusion was this week. I'm sure you saw this one too, Rachel, where a girl whose hobby had been gone for 5 days, um, or 3 days or something like that. No, he'd been gone for 5 days, and she went to her mother-in-law and was saying, "Oh, good morning, mommy," blah blah. I think we spoke about this last week, Friday, and she's like, "Oh, that's she's been calling her." Yeah,
I remember the story now.
yeah, the one that says she's been calling her that her son hasn't been home for 5 days, but he's been active on social media. That I know you're in contact with him. His children are here. Can you help me? And she's like, "Well, I'm off to church and your own marriage. Cheating is part of marriage." Can you imagine the mother-in-law that tells me that? Thunder fire her. Thunder fire her. Cheating is part of marriage. Handle yourself. Don't disturb me like that. 7 missed calls. It's like you said, you didn't even pick up. So if something was wrong with one of the grandchildren, call.
You know,
If something
I
was
don't
wrong,
know, but children is a big problem. Yeah. Then she wouldn't see something was wrong with her grandchildren. I hope that children or grandchildren, she'll find out again.
mm,
Personally, and I know Michelle has told me, not everybody is like me. I owe you calling you one time. I have not heard from your child. And it just sounds to me that there was so much more involved in that.
of course there was so
Hear
much
from
more.
you one
Dude
time.
wanted to
I have not
leave.
heard from your child. Though. Me, I will not be calling you several times. The woman was desperate and her desperation just came true,
Of course, her
absolutely.
desperation came through. Of course, her desperation came through, and
Yeah,
that's the
totally.
problem. And
So
that's the
this
part
is
of the
where the
problem.
point of saying your children are here. He knew the children were here before he left.
Before he left, exactly. And then she now said to the woman that I'll take your children away from, I'll take the kids away, and you never see them again. Is when the woman has started
That
insulting.
was
Said
very
you're,
silly of her.
that was very
Really.
silly of her.
Because I feel
First
like
off, if I
I would have responded the same way. I don't respond well to threats. If you threaten me, I will come for you.
mm. And the other thing as well is, what's my way of even telling you I'll take, they're my children. If I end up taking them, it's too late
Thank
for
you.
you. You can't do nothing. I
Excuse
won't
me,
even
no
give
one
you a
taking
heads
them.
up.
Let me be that right here. You won't even know. They just will see you. Now, how
Ex-
would I handle that lovely scenario? I will go on Facebook and post, my husband has disappeared. I don't know where he is. But whoever knows where he is should tell me. The reason I'm posting that, when you called me, I said the kidnappers to hold you for 2 weeks. I saved your life insurance.
mm,
Because this is not the first time of you doing this at this point. I cannot do it both ways. If you want to be foolish outside, I collect money when you plan. And I
mm,
go my very way.
mm.
And go to all the home and their parties, even if they don't invite you. Be posting pictures, thousands of strange people. You think the police will not come home?
He will come home now, but then sometimes you even want them to come home, and the woman was is blackmail and kidnap. I will face you with full force, and various things like that.
I don't know. Yeah, I think both of them were very foolish.
Both of
And
them
they were
were
both
very
answering
stupid.
from they were both answering from God knows where. Some mother-in-law, that because I know this, some mother-in-laws that have been in abusive marriages where they've been cheated for the entire marriage.
Mm,
And they really do think this is the norm, and they expect their daughter-in-law to come in and
and be taking
they
that.
don't understand why you're exactly, and they don't understand why you're doing a hot and talk about I'm not taking this and I'm not taking that. So what more can she give you? What better answer can she give you?
Exactly. Now the part two to the story is now something different, where it's like, okay, that so a few days later, her mother-in-law now sent a car this week for
So I don't
to
get
pick up
confused.
with driver to pick up the children for piano lessons, and she refused because she was paranoid about the mother-in-law keeping her children. And then she then called her phone and started shouting, and she said she gave the woman a piece of her mind. And then she now said, as Joro advised her, that she told her mother everything, and they got the children out of the house to a safe place, and the mother and sister came to stay in the house with her. That, to her surprise, her husband showed up last night, and he was acting like nothing ever happened. He asked for his children, that she told him where they were. He said he wants them in the house by the weekend, and she's saying she's not sure she wants them in the house because she thinks he and his mother have plotted, and um they're going to try and take the children from
I
her.
don't think I want to think. I don't think the guys want to say that. I don't know why everybody cannot be like me. You asking for your children. Where did you leave them when you were going out? Go be looking for them there.
Well, no, I do think they might be trying to take the children. I think the minute, because she had threatened she keep the children away, they are trying to take the children. Um, they want to try and use it to punish her. Um, Look, I know women like that. There is no way that mother has let the fact that she threatened her go, because when she said that kiniko kiniko, how dare you, is blackmail and whatever, the girl just said okay, and she said I will show you that. There are women, even in the UK here, there are Nigerian mothers that do it.
They are. But the guys don't know. She will put that door. They
Of
will
course,
want
she
to be
opened that door.
possible.
That was her fault.
It's really,
Now she's
really,
gonna be paranoid. Me, I wouldn't have said
because
anything. Dude would have come home whenever
because
he
if I
came home.
just tell you that,
Mm,
if I tell you that, I can't pick up the kids. If I can't take it out, it's Nigeria, we're Nigeria, right?
mm.
They go bring a bunch of people, bring down the level, they also pick up the kids for you. So I'm kind of also trying to,
Which is where you come out, which is
yeah,
where
my
you
mom
carry
would be
yourself.
sending a driver
Mm,
to take the kids for piano lesson, or she just out of the blue, nowhere with no explanation. Then I'll be paranoid. If this is something they've been doing before, then maybe mama is just going about another day. I don't know.
yeah,
I just think both
exactly.
of them are crazy.
Yeah,
And
both of them are crazy, and you can tell she's crazy because with her second post, she's now asking. She said that the man, when he came home that night, blah blah blah, when they were sleeping, he now tried to make love to her. She refused, and he started shouting at her that she can't even welcome him back, blah blah blah. Um, and that she saw scars on his back, like, like maybe belt marks or scratch marks or something like that. And she's now saying that, well, whatever side chick he's been with for 2 weeks, that she wishes her all the best. But she's now asking if she should be leaving him or not. And I'm like, what?
I got a good one.
I know, right?
Everything that she had said, she could get her mother, she could do like that, and now she's still asking.
Mm, me that I would have changed the locks.
They are not the whole story.
It's either I leave that house and go to a different place with my children, or I change the locks and tell him, which key did you use when you last came here? Well, the key has been the same for the last 2 weeks. Whichever one you do, if you have been here for 2 weeks, you will have the right key. And you just be looking. All this one that she's doing and she's not asking questions. The minute she asks that, I'm just like, that's it. I wash my hand. I come out my hand. I can't even be dealing with nonsense people like this. Now, by force for you to be married. Is it by force?
I some men just do the same thing. I remember in the early years of my marriage, my husband would go out, not for fancy. He would tell me I'll be back.
Mm.
I had no idea where he went to and all that stuff. Then I remember one day I called his mother one time. She didn't pick up the phone. I left her a message. I have no idea where you found it. This is just FYI.
Mhm.
I sent him a text message. If you die, I will collect your life insurance.
Of
I will
course.
cry smart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you. And I
Yep.
can find your boyfriend.
Yep. Now you is
And I ask you, if it isn't enough to tell me where are you going to,
mm,
so that I can know.
mm-hmm.
If
If
this is
they
the
say
second time,
mm-hmm.
guess what he saw? Rachel went out, we took out of hospital. I did not come back until the next morning. When I turned on my phone, there was lots of phone calls. That's how it felt like.
And that's
How they were worried about me. I'm waking up my mother and father to say, do you know where the daughter is? That's how it felt for me.
yeah, and that's the other thing as well is, what, courtesy demands. No one's saying don't go out. You want to go out? Yeah, you're a grown man, you do your responsibility. Like, okay, go out, have fun. But can you let me know you're not going to be arriving back today? Because I'm out with the boys, I'm drunk, I'm not getting in the car to drive, blah blah. Or I'm just out with the boys, I'll be back. We're out until late, I'll be back later. That's it. There is no other you can't be doing all of that and you don't then come back until the next morning and like, what? You knew I was out now. That I'm a grown up.
People do. Listen, that day he called my phone was turned off, so he called my friend. And she would say, wait, let's pick up the phone. I'm like, if you do it. I saw it. I just pick up the phone. I needed him to understand what
What
I
it felt
feel
like.
like when I have no idea where you are.
Mm-hmm.
You're not picking up your phone call. I have no explanation.
Yeah.
Just have a face to face. But I called his mother one time and she didn't pick up the phone. I remember it was sitting me. I left her a voice message. Like, I have no idea where you're done. It's been gone all day. I've not been able to reach him. I am worried. But I was not harassing her several times, since my third time. We should go find something doing, no Jerry.
And this is the other thing, it's the comments that get to me. And I'm just thinking, who are these people? Why do they have access to smartphone and data? Why are they even allowed to make comments? Some of them saying, my dear, God made it so. Cheating is normal for men. You can't stop it. The husband must cheat. And I truly felt like hitting him hard. But when I remembered,
Why do people
I
say
don't
that?
know.
But you know what? I shouldn't ask that. I do know why people say that. Because this, I refuse to accept that this is our mother's generation. Because my parents' marriage was relationship goals for us. They had this amazing marriage that's like, wow, Jesus Christ. It's not fair for one woman to have this man that's so nice. And you see other marriages and the women accept it and tolerate it. So my mother never told us every man cheats. But on the flip side, I do have a mother-in-law who lives for 40 years with cheating.
Mm.
And they believe that every man cheats.
Exactly. And see, this is the other thing as well is I don't understand why did anyone they're just willing to excuse this nonsense. I mean, I saw a post earlier on this week about a guy that wrote to the breakup or makeup site and was saying about how um there's less men ratio to women and women have to be married, so um they're the ones
They
that
are doing like a
need
favor.
to adjust their attitude, that if a man is taking care of you and you're married, just accept it and think yourself lucky and blah 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 and all that stuff, that if if the man is that, so there's some women out there that they're the ones that are actually working to put money in the house so that the man doesn't leave and everything like that, and some are just happy to have the man in the presence, and I'm kind of like, who are you? What? And this is a guy that's recently this. I'm kind of like, what? So just be happy, be happy if you're married and your husband is also has a job. Like, that's your criteria for for a husband, for a relationship. And I was just flabbergasted at the audacity and the nonsense of this ridiculous people. I don't know where he comes from. I can't understand. And you'll be some people that be like, I don't know, I don't even understand. Some people, well, I can't
I
even
don't
talk.
know. I don't know. We say a lot of things about men and the negative aspects about men, but I think for the most part, women
Mm.
have a hand in making men into the thing.
Of
Men just
course,
feel
of
that they don't
course.
give to women, only feel that way because some women, be their mother, girlfriend, has really let them think. Not that they never held them accountable. Is it mothers who think their boy should not be trained on how to do house chores
Mm.
because they are boys?
Because they're
And
both. And
but
this
then
is
want the
something that is
perfect husband
crucial.
for their daughter. One way or
Exactly.
another, the problem always comes back to women.
Of
It's
course.
secondary.
Of course it does. This is one thing that, you know what, you can never argue with your mother about. Every one of my brothers knows how to cook. From day one, they can cook, they can do housework and everything. As in, well, it's not cook as in they can just boil rice and I can stay cook small stew. As in, when no, no, my brother, when he gets in the kitchen, sometimes that you make ogbono with crayfish and prawns and tiny diced meat and everything. He now do amala. I'll be eating like this. I'll be sticking my hand inside the amala. My hand is cooking though because it's still so hot off the fire, and my fingers are steaming and cooking. But I refuse to leave that food because it's that sweet. This is not just they maybe know how to cook. They are amazing cooks because their mother made it a point of telling them that, come, understand this. As I'm teaching my daughters to be independent, to be able to change their own light bulb, to be able to change their own tires, to be able to change their own fuse, to be able to cook, the same way that you boys need to know how to do this. Because frankly, marriage is a choice. If a woman will come and be doing you nonsense in the house, you cannot be saying, because it's because she's feeding me or it's because she's cooking. Enter the kitchen and cook. Cook for yourself, cook for your own children. Don't let somebody come and mess you about.
And there are different circumstances where maybe your wife is not available. I
Exactly.
remember growing up, my father was, before he retired, was a pilot. I remember before my father went to flight school, my mom had to go to England. She went for about 6 to 9 months to
Mm,
work, raise money. My
mm,
father was the one cooking. At the point we were bringing him and she not come back again.
mm.
All that kitchen practical, that he was making kitchen practical for us.
Adio.
Wasn't it to give us a back? That was making fried very fresh like here,
Mm.
and you're having all this spicy sauce. When my mom is so where you are,
Happy now. And this is the
it was
thing.
daddy that was cooking. It
Mm,
was my dad that was cooking.
yeah. And this is
It
the
wasn't
thing.
some strange woman because oh, his wife was not there. No, that was
Exactly.
my dad.
Or you be
He didn't
saying, help
know
me
how to
take care of
cook.
my husband, help me take care of my family, be cooking for
Exactly.
them, be doing nah, none of all that. I mean, my one of my brother's close friends, that he knew from secondary school, when they were They came to visit them here in England, and they were at the house. I think they stayed for like a night or something. And so the wife had gone, my brother's wife had gone to work, and he was the one that was kind of sorting out when he went to pick up his son from school, and he came home. He was the one that cooked for him. Actually, no, 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 no. His son was in nursery. He was the one that cooked for him. He did his son's food, and then he changed the nappy, and all this, basically all the stuff that he was doing. Got him showered and ready for bed. So when Mama just came, Mama was able to just play with the boy a bit, and then take him up to bed to be the one to tuck him in. My friend and his wife were saying, "Wait, you know what your son eats? You change his nappy. That you actually can cook food for him. You actually take care of your son sometimes." Like, yeah, we both do. It's like I contributed to the making of the boy. That I don't want someone else to come and be, he needs to bond with his son. This is part of what he uses to bond. Yes, they go out and everything, but it's his child. He brought him. They brought him into the world. It wasn't just her that brought the child into the world now, and they couldn't understand it. The guy's wife was like, "Look, your friend doesn't know what your daughter eats at home." This was in Nigeria. They live in Nigeria. I don't know. He couldn't tell you what your daughter eats. He couldn't tell you what she cannot eat. He cannot tell you that he's ever changed a nappy or anything like that. And my brother is like,
It's not really her fault.
yeah, exactly. That is her fault.
Because
Exactly. It is her fault. So when my sister-in-law finally came down, she was like, that's partly your fault because look, he understands it's not just me that brought the child into the world. This is a partnership. Exactly, exactly. No, 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 no. You will get the hang of it. You tell this is what you need to do. Use this one before that one on the bomb bomb, that one on this. That she didn't have the child alone. This is a partnership. We are in a partnership. We're not in a. It's not taking. It's not a. I mean, granted, you're still the woman of the house, and sometimes you kowtow to what you can. If your husband is like, you can't go on that 1 week holiday with your girlfriends, and you kind of like, okay, even though it wasn't his money we're going to use, if there's any decent, if it's like, look, you know what, you can't go because I can't handle the kids alone for the week or something like that, and you do your best, you sit your house down because you're like, okay, but you can't just vex and go because then that's another fight you cannot have. So things like that, you still listen to your husband, but you're not the only person now. It's a partnership. And the guy was like, "Hey, it's because they live here, blah blah." No, there are people that do it in Nigeria as well. Pick up their own children.
It's definitely annoying me when you read. I think that's what an offer would say. When we read this narrative about all Nigerian men being bad, they start to look like, but I know some normal ones, and I know some crazy ones.
I know, right?
We put ourselves in that superwoman category.
Yeah.
Let the man, you won't let him do anything. Or you don't even make him accountable. Feel like you're fire outside as the way right from yesterday or whatever.
Exactly.
Getting superwoman and then coming and start crying that you don't do anything.
Of
You
course.
do that. You won't take care of the children.
Abby,
Accountable.
I remember when we went for a girls' holiday for a week, and my sister-in-law couldn't come for the whole week. She came for 4 days. Still, she managed to make 3 days out of that. So I think it was 4 days or something. She did part of what she could. Okay, you know what? Let me help on these so days, and she was able to go on holiday with her girls. We went, me, her, some of our friends. We had fun, came back. Like 2 months later, he went on a boys' holiday with my other brothers, and some of their friends and everything. And she was holding down the fort. And this is part of and then they now have family holidays and stuff like that. And this is a part of it is the fact that you kind of yes, you want to do things as a family, but if you guys are respectful of each other and understand the fact that you guys are your individuals who are choosing to cohabitate, you will sit together and you will work things out. You will come up with ways that both of you benefit from life. You don't just get stuck into this whole because we now have children and you sit at home all day and me I would die making money or something like that. It's just different things like that.
I could never even ever wrap my head around the notion that someone would expect me to sit down at home with children. Unless you want those children to die. But by the time you come back, I probably have locked them up somewhere. You guys are crazy. I can't.
I know, right? Just
Imagine
absolute.
that. Like seriously, you will come home, you see your children locked up somewhere, you have been working, nobody will just let's have to do this together. You can't drop it on my lap.
Of course, no. It's one of those things where it's like it. Look, this is a partnership. We both agreed that we were going to do this. Um, we both agreed that we were going to be in a marriage together. This is not servitude. Um, which kind of brings me, oh God, into another story. So there's this guy. He's called Ugo Jesse on Instagram, and he does his posts are pretty much all graphic drawings, almost kind of like comic book and everything and stuff like that. And he does, and the things, the messages that he uses them to portray are actually pretty good. So he might be speaking about how, okay, some mother-in-law might be
Yeah,
screaming,
I've seen it.
your wife is all our her and our rich people that are eating the babies. That's how she'd be screaming. She's like, it's because she has endometriosis or something like that. That's saying, why would that period? Just things like that. He uses it. He uses these graphic stuff to make to create things to learn lessons from. So one of the ones that he put up this week was one. You can see the guy is a guy. He's got a hold of his wife. He's standing behind his wife with his hands around her throat. Her lip is bloodied. Her eyes are black. Her eyes are black and blue and swollen, and there's blood dripping down. There's tears. She's screaming and crying. He's grabbing her hair and pulling it from the back, and he says, "I don't care if we had it all night and you are late for work. You are my wife. I will have you whenever and however I want." It's like, no, this is rape. Without my consent is rape. Now, everyone gets we get the whole premise of that message. It is the comments, the ignorance, myopic. As so far as I'll go as far as to say stupid people that are commenting. Some comments will be like, how can you rape your wife? And I'm like, huh? What do you mean? And some of them will be like, it's your duty as a wife to give to your husband whenever he wants. I'm like, huh? And they'll be like, which one is consent in marriage again? Maybe he paid bride price. And my fingers were really itching. I wanted to comment, but the thing about it is, people that are this dim-witted, that are this stupid, really do not deserve my time. It's the ones that are on the fence that I wanted to convince, but I just couldn't do it without just demolishing some people. And I thought about it. You do people realize it is a marriage between two human beings, like a man and a woman, two human beings, a human and a human, not a man and a goat, not a man and a toothbrush. It's a man and a woman. So it is not an object. He not acquire property on object that he can do with as he chooses and please. It is a human being. Like the way slave trade the was seen as inhumane. It's the same as you thinking that you own that person's existence, their life, their body, because you're married to them. And I'm just reading some of these comments, and I was getting angrier and angrier, and I was working myself up. I just thought, I can't do this. I really cannot do this because I would just go insane. I wanted to blast people, not only use caps, but be effing and blinding at the retardedness of some of the people. And I just thought,
And
nah.
it's quite sad so that I think it's not wanted. So very often my husband is saying, why don't you comment? And I'm like, I don't know how to say it to get into a world of social media
Mm-hmm.
with children. Because obviously you are a child. Marital rape is different from someone, I want to have sex, I don't want to have sex.
Mm.
Please now, come on. Seducing, whatever, that's very different.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
When they're 20, when I see the stupid comments, I look at the profile, try to gauge them. When a 20 something year old boring in a man's body,
Mm.
I have to call them that.
Mm.
Things that maybe I paid her bride price.
Mm.
Then I start to imagine who are his parents.
Yes.
What generation did the parents go up, in what generation, where did they grow up? But then I still come back and say that's not an excuse. I
Mm-hmm.
grew up in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm. So did I.
Parents are Nigerian. I did not, my parents, I grew up in Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian, true and true. And I did not need to come to the United States to know that many of the things are wrong.
Of course. And that's the
And
excuse that they'll be
so I
using.
refuse to accept that it is Nigeria.
Exactly. It is
Because
just
I
their
am Nigerian.
mentality.
You are Nigerian.
Mm.
Something is wrong. How did we get here?
And they, yeah. And some were saying, don't might be using Oyibo laws here, in our culture. Like, no, I know, no. Look, if you don't know your culture, let me teach you properly. You can even then they might even then if he did that to his wife,
You cannot come outside and say,
this is what he did to me. Yes, the village elders will sit him down. What do you mean? Eh? You beat your wife because there is it every second you must take. That even if you thought so, even their own way of resolving it might be different from how we might resolve it now. But their own way might be like, you couldn't cajole your wife. You said you had it all night, kilo day. You don't want her to relax. You don't know the place hurts. You didn't even say, let me help you wash it, oh. Let me help you blow on it, oh. You didn't even say something. You know those nasty things that they'll be saying. They'll forget the fact that he beat the crap out of her. Exactly. And you be like, you don't have work to do. She has work to do. You don't want her to feed your children. Just different things like that, but they'll say it in a different way. And it's just and people be like,
I feel like, no, this is not about culture.
and some people be like,
Let's stop presenting
stop using it as an excuse.
animals.
And some people be using religion in the Bible. It says, actually, if you can go and get the Bible and tell me where it says that a woman has to consent to everything her husband asks her, that she has to give him sex anytime, that he can force her. When you show me that in the Bible, in fact, I will stop talking. And people just coming up with stupid things. There was one that even made a stupid comment to say, why would they use black people in this? That most people know that more white people are rapists. Are you stupid? No, more white people just get convicted for it because they have been through this stupid mentality that you have. And this is how I know that it's not a Nigerian thing. It is the fact that they have never learned. There are no laws that support this. If the laws were saying it is illegal, and that you cannot do it, it slowly will go seep into the consciousness of every other generation following down. This kind of thing that the man did in maybe the Georgian or Victorian times, he could have done and got away with this, and neighbors would be like, it's none of our business, it's his wife, he can do whatever he wants with her. The same way she couldn't inherit property because she's a woman. If she has her father's money, she cannot inherit directly. She has to inherit it with the husband, or it all goes to the husband whenever she marries, he stays with the family member. Just ridiculous things like that. All these things have happened. They've happened in donkeys of years, and here and so some of it is not, it has nothing to do with them saying, hey, he's in both times or is everything like that. I'm just, oh god, I'm just disgusted at people. I'm so disgusted.
Not guilty, but I have just decided that there is not much, which in itself is bad because if everybody decides that we cannot change it, we cannot change the perception from our culture being so bad because it isn't in all aspects that women is not there. When men did not call their wife with the country back, it was true. That as a man you couldn't even manage your home except to beat your wife. Those men were the force of jokes in the villages. Nobody came down on the village. You could have man that's always beating his wife, but that's what they become. It wasn't considered enough. So when people say it's our culture,
No, it's because they've they're too stupid, and the government has allowed them to get away with it because you can't go and report to police because the policeman does not have any sensible credentials. He has not been taught properly about the law. He has not gone to school. It's some idiot person somewhere with half a mentality, so he'll be telling you, but madam, is your husband now, and everything like that. So if the first point of call is even too stupid to understand the difference, and they'll be like, some of them will say, go be a lesbian then if you're tired of getting dick. And I'm like, how is that even, what? Exactly. That's why women be washing their linen in public and be saying this. And I'm kind of looking at this person and thinking, why, where, why is there a huge concentration of retarded, stupid? Oh God, I was so vexed. Yeah. Women would actually stop giving boys the time of the just because they got a couple of dollars or naira. But it wants to raise the standard and grow up. And this is the thing, this is about putting laws in place and everything that it does not support. If a policeman refuses to acknowledge or accept, reports of crimes like this, they should be fired. Simple. And this was part of what has had to happen in the Western world, where the police have been slowly brought into the whole sensible thinking of, look, you are not the end all and be all. You cannot bully people in the streets. You cannot ask them for money. You cannot just go and grab someone and arrest them. There has to be due process. It's slowly changed, and this is what we have to do. We have to change in so many aspects. Follow the process to the end. You see, a lot of people consider this thing, but something tells them that because you stick your neck out for someone, and then halfway through, you're fighting for them to kill the man, and the woman has moved back into the house. And it's like, you did your duty. You're not the one that did it. And it's like, no, I don't want you to fight for me again. Exactly. We have to be willing to sacrifice. We have never sacrificed. I said this to someone before. We have been taken advantage of by government, all of that. We have never sacrificed. It is time to sacrifice. We are not prepared to sacrifice. Yeah, I saw the video this morning about the guy who was talking about a recent bill that was just read in Senate today about giving amnesty to people who have funds that's been stolen, or that they cannot explain and everything. And so long as they invest in something, basically they're kind of creating amnesty for themselves in life. And he's saying I read this, basically saying if you were a thief, we'll give you amnesty. That in any other country that would have not happened. And I'm kind of thinking he's right. In any other country that won't happen. They won't be sat there sort of saying that, and it's not Western countries, African countries where leaders are taking people down for their bad behavior, their stealing, their the bad laws they create and everything. And it's kind of like, with Nigerians, we've never fought for anything in our lives. They act like they don't know that. Then they'll now be screaming, there's no money in this economy. No. Not a single one has ever fought for anything. If it had been left to Nigerian people to get female votes, if suffragette was left to Nigerian people right now, not Nigerian people back in the 40s, they were different. They believed and everything. But if it had been left to Nigerian people now, there would be no female votes anywhere in the world. There would be no suffragettes. In fact, suffragettes would have not happened. There would have been a couple of women, and half of them would have betrayed each other. So when they would catch them, they'd be like, okay, who else is in your meeting? Who else came? Half of them would have betrayed each other, because some of them would have said, you should go on to your husband. Yeah? Civil rights movement, imagine civil rights movement. It is this generation of Nigeria. And never would have happened. Slavery would have continued, of course. Slavery would have continued. And this is what really frightens me, is the fact that what exactly is happening in this world? These people are meant to be I don't even understand. I don't even understand. So sometimes I can almost get why some people might be like, you know what, there needs to be a cleansing sometimes. I don't believe in cleansing. I don't believe in, ethnic cleansing, racial cleansing. But maybe there needs to be some sort of IQ cleansing or test clean. Not even IQ, just smart testing. But sometimes it's not about having a high IQ. Sometimes it's about being able to understand humanity and just call stupid when you see stupid. And it's like, oh my God. Anyway, it's bank on time.
I called their names because they put their names on Facebook.
Who are
And
those?
I'm helping them to the people.
Who are those ones? Which one is that one? Oh, tell me about
I don't forget now, the people about they met themselves the first time. The boy made the card, she got the
yes, 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 yes. This one. Okay. So this one, I need to really understand what all this nonsense is about because, frankly, so this guy. Wait, let me see. I'm trying to look for. So her name was Selena Nelson. Hmm. Okay, so so these two writers that met each other on social media met up. This is for people that don't understand what's going on. They met up face to face for drink or whatever, coffee or something, and the guy basically kind of not necessarily proposed sex, but it was kind of like let's do some stuff. He wanted a makeout session, and the girl declined, and the guy was like, okay, sorry, I didn't know. And okay, you have done your own. Okay, sorry. And then, they went home. The guy called her to say, it was fun. Hope you had a nice time. Sure you got home okay, blah, blah. She's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Next morning, that sad lady just went on social media to blast him. As in serious blasting. Can you believe this nonsense? This guy put his name, not even just, she didn't even try to cover up for him. Put his name, said, sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. Saying how he, can you believe it, that he tried to have sex with me, or he basically she told the whole story with, except for the fact that Bobo had apologized, or some sort of apology had been given, and she seemed to have accepted, and they spoke afterwards. But basically, she now came onto social media to come and demolish the guy. I didn't actually read what the guy's response was. Rachel, I don't know if you did.
I really couldn't find it, but by the time I get into this, deleted a lot of their
A lot
social
of things.
media interaction.
Exactly, yeah.
But then I was able to see a screenshot of what there's so much people. I was able to see a screenshot of his WhatsApp messages to her, really basically saying, why is she unleash on all of her friends on him? Basically, she's saying, I was upset, so my friends are defending me, and, I don't know who's more stupid. Actually, I think I know who's more stupid. The girl is not stupid. Because she's so upset that he made a pass with her. He is saying he should never have made a pass with her.
This can make a pass now. Should be you are the one that say no.
You made a pass. You said no.
Move on. Move on. Simple. It's not by force now. You've said no. The guy has accepted. It's not like as if he tried to force you or anything like that. He apologized. Exactly. Exactly. And it's like,
there are actually a group of really young women, and they're very vocal on social media.
Of course.
Who really think that he was totally out of place. He should never have made a pass.
Of course, he can make a pass. Anybody can make a pass at anybody now.
If the whole world was the same thing as you, we would have come extinct at this point. Because we don't have any children were born from one night stand.
Abi,
this is my argument. She does not understand what a one night stand is. Because she said, yeah, I had a one night stand before with people that I've talked to about sex. No, honey. Your one night stand is Thank you. One bad thank you, ma'am. I don't meet you again. I don't know who you are.
Mm.
I just had in the back of my head that, good Lord, I have something with someone.
Yeah. And this is,
That's one night stand.
yeah. And she just, I don't understand why after they do that now apologize, you now thought you then turn it into a social media fracas and just try and just
And
create.
if friends are the height of stupid, I will now, I don't know what to do. Because my friends don't offended that somebody told her, I will not get on phone and be
Mm,
harassing somebody
of course not. What's my own?
because you told me. Listen, if the boy is fine, I will not serious to my side.
Ah,
Come on, thank you.
Abi, exactly. It's like, okay, well, you didn't want. It's all right. You're not a fan of him. Dude made a pass at you. You're a fine girl now. That's why dude made a pass at you. And you say you don't
Thank
want to do.
you.
It's all right. He's actually a fine bobo. He said, I can meet
I've
up with him.
gotten very confused about this female empowerment and feminism thing.
Exactly. That's how people will be screaming that all you women that are doing feminism, feminism, feminism. They don't understand the fact that some people just take feminism out of context.
Yeah, I think we're really on the independent celebrity completely about what it is and what it covers, and it doesn't protect you from stupidity. Yeah, maybe the boy should have been smart enough to know that your brain cells are not exactly complete
Mm,
and you would go overboard.
yeah.
So I actually questioned his intelligence if he could not figure that out.
Yeah.
But then you need to be in a psychiatric unit. If
The
you
guy
see
can hit on
videos on
you.
social media
Mm.
making a video of half hour because somebody made it, he said, let's make out. Before he said, I want to talk to you, he said, let's make out.
Mm.
Let's kiss, let's do all of
Yeah,
that. That's all we
exactly.
ask for.
And if you say no, I
He
don't
said
want to
no.
make out with you, what was that?
Why
Oh, I'm
can't
sorry, oh, I must have misread the signals. And you too, you said, okay, yes, so you did misread the signals. You don't finish with that now. Yeah, move on.
finish? You don't talk to him tomorrow, you don't do anything, that's fine.
Mm,
And it required 3 days of Nigerian Facebook being on Ruhaha.
I know, right? Just because somebody asked you out, girl, it ain't that difficult. Life ain't that hard. Life is not that hard. You know,
She has obviously not had one night stand. If she had had one night stand, this wouldn't be a problem.
even if she had gone back, how is it an offense for someone um to offer to have to make a move on you? That's not an offense at all. The guy can
I
make a
think it's
move.
because me and you come in and spend and think alike.
No, but it's not even just that. I think
One
I don't even think it's just
of
that.
the best things I like about the night is you being able to tell me what you want. If you see me and say, really, I would like to have sex with you, and I don't get offended.
I don't
If
get.
I'm
Of
not
course not.
interested in that moment, I'll tell
I,
you. If I want to, I'm like, oh yeah, let's get done.
mm,
But I actually admire your ability to tell me
exactly. It
this is
takes
what
a
I want.
lot, as in, dude, you still I commend you for coming up to me, and asking and everything. You
I
know,
ask you, that doesn't mean you get it. Yeah. That's the
exactly.
question.
Exactly. You want to ask, go ahead, do your thing, but it doesn't mean you get what you want.
The offer and the coverage and everything that people felt,
Mm.
I don't know, maybe I'm weird. I really think they were crazy. I think the girl was not
But you
crazy
know
than the
that
guy.
I think it also partly has to do with the culture these days that people actually they don't toast anymore, they don't ask out anymore, they don't do all that sort of you know toasting
But you know,
and
I think women are
banter.
still giving confusing information. We spend a lot of time saying you don't want to be objectified. You are independent. Treat me like this. And now you have a flock of men who are doing that. We are saying women are now comfortable with their sexuality.
Hmm.
It's confusing. Okay, come on. Pick one.
Yeah, I mean, but I think there's a middle ground. There's a happy medium here where
Yeah.
where if I
And men shouldn't be allowed to second guess and try and say, okay, does this one want to win or this one want to take forward? Will
exactly,
I offend her? Will
exactly,
I then
exactly,
become
they
this?
shouldn't have to that shouldn't have to happen. It's kind of
They
like,
don't
okay,
have to.
it should be as simple as, okay, you know what, I like this girl, let me toast her, and you're like, no, I'm not interested, or
And there's not a bit of win in this scenario. There was a foot massage somewhere.
really.
Come on.
Yeah, of course. So Bobo is kind of thinking, so can we step it up from foot massage, that
I
kind of
mean,
thing,
this type of
and then you
things
said
and you're
no,
not
you're not
doing
ready to
then.
step it up from foot massage. Yeah, that's all right then. Dude understood that you weren't comfortable with going that far. What then? Well, okay, it's all right then.
This
Let's move
massage
on.
can lead to things. So if you're comfortable with the boy massaging your feet, maybe
That's the other part of it
I
as
don't
well.
know.
It's like, well, okay, okay, no, but that's what she was comfortable with. She was only comfortable with, massage the feet massage and everything. Whether it's because she didn't want to look like she was easy, or whether she really wasn't feeling the guy that much, but she wanted to still flirt, which sometimes you want to do. You want to do a little bit of
Which is okay.
flirting.
And that's what I mean, the point is, she was very vocal about that. I I asked, you said no. It's okay to ask, it's okay to say no.
Of course.
What is not okay is for the whole world to now be involved in what happens between two people.
Yeah. And you now be putting me on blast, and I'll be acting and changing
That's
story
what I would say.
at the later at a later point. And that's
Yeah.
I think that's a problem.
And so making point is something else you're thinking that just because you're born a woman puts you on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Just like with some men, being a man doesn't make you a god. Being a woman doesn't give you this automatic pedestal and respect. I can do that to his mother. What if it is his sister?
Yeah, and that's the other thing is, what is
Come
with
on.
this nonsense about women just starting to scream his mother, his sister, and everything? It's like, okay, why are you cursing at his mother? I mean, yes, you can ask him that if roles were reversed, you know, would he be vexed at somebody asking out his sister or trying to have sex with his sister? It's like, well, they can try. She can, and I'm sure she can say no.
If his sister wants to do, she will do.
Uh-huh. I mean, he might be delusional enough to think that, okay, she'll always say no, but at least he'll say, well, you can try, but I'm sure my sister will say no, and she has a right to say no, and that's exactly how he treated you. Is that you have a right to say no? It wasn't like
She
as
said,
if
no.
you know. I'm just surprised at the nonsensical nonsense of it all. I just cannot believe it. Some people don't.
Maybe Mark Zuckerberg should make a software that will separate Nigerians from Facebook.
Yeah, if you have made stupid comments, if your comments has been deemed as a in fact, there should be an algorithm that allows you to say you're just a stupid person. So delete. You never use social media again. You're taken off of all social media completely. Imagine the stupidness that people just come up with sometimes.
So, we won't have a proposal to give to them. So,
Exactly. True. 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 Yeah. People's stupidness is where we where we enjoy ourselves.
they can
It's the
get
nonsense that they exhibit that we enjoy ourselves, because it's just unrealistic, some of the things that happen. It's so ridiculous that we have to discuss it, because there's just no other way to go about it. Ugh.
they have
All right, anyway, we have run over by 13 minutes, but we did start a little bit late. But Rachel, thank you so much. It has been great. I know everyone else is kind of, I think they're trying to have a Friday evening and have their day. I mean, Aproko is for Friday evening, so how very their day go. Yes, they're on timeout. We'll be discussing that with them later. Right, okay. Thank you so much for calling in, Rachel, and it's been a great show, and we will be back next week, Wednesday, with the Talking Drum. Bye, everyone.
Bye.